Hello, shalom everyone. So I am here now in Efrat. Efrat is a Jewish city overlooking the Judean mountains. You can see behind me are the Judean mountains. I don't know if you can see it clearly. So beautiful.
Where the Christian people believe that Jesus was born outside of Bethlehem on our hill. Because we're like right where Bethlehem is. And also the aqueducts of King Herod that carried the water to the temple runs through my farm. Beautiful aqueducts, and then tea here, and then at my place. Like they're very welcoming. They'll show you their sheep and their farm.
This is also a sheep farm.
Yeah, we're good friends with this farm.
Beautiful here. But the place is called what? Migdal Eder?
Yes, the Tower of the Flock. It comes from the book of Micha 4 and 5. And Migdal Eder was a place in ancient times where the temple flocks were kept outside of Bethlehem. And so we named it Migdal Eder. Look, see, this is our hill. You see? See, this white is my building. So here's Bethlehem as well. See a road here and over there? The time. Can you see this big round hill? And then that's my barn, that white building. The white building is my house. And when I got here, it looked like this field. It was like all. So I took a tractor and I leveled my land. And I like built the house and the barn, but it was like a 1.5 year process to build. It wasn't like.
So you built everything?
I slept in a tent for like a year. Yes.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I built everything from scratch. When I got here, it was just rocks.
And this is your farm.
Yes.
Over here.
Here's the barn. It says Migdal Eder. We'll first go home so you can get comfortable.
Say hello. Hello. Oh, so cute. Hello. Baby. Hello.
Whew, gotta wipe that mouth. I'm Jenna Lewinsky, and this is my son David. We are the shepherds of the Jacob sheep. So I started this project 6 years ago, and it's kind of funny because in the biblical story where Jacob earns the sheep as wages from Laban, he worked 6 years for the sheep. He worked the first 14 for his 2 wives, and then he worked an additional 6 years for the sheep. So this is our 6th year, and we are in Migdal Eder. It took us 6 years to get from Canada to Israel. We moved a couple of times around Israel until we received this permanent land for the Jacob sheep. And we just restored the Jacob sheep to the land and to this beautiful home. And this year we actually opened for tourists because we literally arrived here on rocks and there was nothing here, not even water, electricity. We still generate our own electricity and we bring water in. And we built the barn and like a caravan for David and I. We've been in a long and difficult and hard process, but we know that God is in control, and so everything works out in the end. And we're really happy here. Our sheep is really happy, and we're hoping visitors will come post-corona and to come and see this miracle that God did to restore the sheep to the land. I think a lot of times I wanted to quit, like I'm just human, because things seemed really hard by myself, woman alone, to build everything and to get the money together to do it. But my love for God and for Israel and for the animals and the sheep themselves has kind of seen me through really hard times. And this is a project that probably my son David one day will still be running over here. He's the next shepherd. I'm training him now. He loves the sheep and even the baby lambs. So yeah, he's like, loves the sheep. Yeah, what do you think of the sheep, boy? Yeah. This place has a very significant history because the temple flocks were kept here next to Bethlehem. That's why we called our farm Migdal Eder. That was what the ancient temple place, a hill above Bethlehem, was called, where the temple flocks were raised. And we just love this hill. And our animals is not for sacrifices or for meat or for milk or anything to do with greed. Our animals are just for conservation. And we want the Jacob sheep to repopulate the land of Israel and it's a conservation effort. And also having the biblical sheep back in Israel, just along with the Jewish people, it shows you how the sheep parallel the people. Like the Jewish people were scattered when the temple was destroyed and returned 2,000 years later. And the same happened to the sheep. They were scattered, they went to North Africa. Moorish traders traded them to Spain in the 16th century. They became royal. They were walking in Kensington Palace Castle, in the Buckingham Palace, eating all the grass of the royal family of the UK for about 400 years as lawnmowers, royal lawnmowers. And then they were given as a Commonwealth gift to Canada, to the zoos. And at the particular time when I arrived in Canada, I saw that the sheep were going to go extinct. And people asked me why did I help the sheep? Why am I doing this? Because I had a very prosperous career as an accountant, and I was also at a stint as an Israeli diplomat in an internship at the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But I quit all these jobs because I believed in God. Number one, I have faith, and I believe in the restoration of the land of Israel. And if I wasn't going to do it, God would have raised somebody else up. So I wanted to grab the opportunity. Sometimes I realize I can't do everything. I'm just one person, and people help financially and all of that, and they're part of it. But physically it feels really hard sometimes with the baby and to do everything. But then I'm always reminded that you just have to have a willing heart. You don't have to be capable. And then everything else works out. God sometimes raises up people to stop you and help you with different things that I could never have done by myself. and perfect timing, and like I have many stories to write. I just have to put it in a book one day. The stories are as long as this journey of 6 years. It feels like I've lived like 12 lifetimes in the 6 years with all the adventure of the sheep and all the things we've been through. We have funny stories like when the sheep made Aliyah, how we struggled to find aeroplanes that would carry the sheep, and how we got sent back to our quarantine over and over again at the airport, didn't load us up, and we thought it was like impossible to come, but we're here. And yeah, it's really a miracle. And the sheep have survived much. We've been through floods, fire, and like all sorts of things that normal people don't go through even in one lifetime. And the sheep is through all of it, and we are here. And that just shows to me that God is in control and He has His hand on this project.